Okay, hello. We're on
What's going on, everyone?
Popculture Pack.
Popculture
Apparently,
Pack's
we
back.
can't be all together anymore.
Yeah,
Someone's gonna be missing every week.
last week I was missing, and then this week Alter's missing
Yeah.
because he is on a family trip.
Am I
But
gonna be missing next week?
I don't know, dude. It's you can't say, man. The Pop Culture Pack's going like all different directions right now.
Yes. And then one week it's just gonna be silence.
No
There's
one,
just gonna
no
be
one
no
will be
one.
here. We'll
We're just
just
gonna be
click record and I'll
recording
leave.
with no one.
But yeah. So guys, we have like a plethora of topics to talk about. DC has been like firing shots out of a cannon
Yes.
this whole week. They've released like a trillion different topics in the span of like 5 or 6 days, and
Marvel
DC
can't
fandom's
do
coming up.
crap.
No, they can't. Marvel is like really, really not doing well right now because Avengers, nobody's really paying attention to it. The
They're in
only
the
thing Marvel,
doghouse.
who has?
They're in the doghouse.
Oh yeah, and oh god, the only thing really that I'm looking forward to with Marvel is the Miles Morales game, which I think will be really good.
hmm
It looks great. The graphics are marginally improved from Spider-Man PS4. Not like hugely, but you can tell there's some
Yeah.
difference. And I'm glad that's the direction they're going. But today, really, what we're going to be talking about is, I guess, just, what we've been up to. Obviously, this is just a conversation between three buddies, but right
One's
now
not
it's
here.
two. Yeah, right. One is not here.
Again.
So, so basically, it'll just be us two talking about whatever, and then probably we'll like lead into some DC fandom, Rocksteady WB Game Montreal territory. But yeah, so do you want to start it off? Talk about whatever's on your mind regarding stuff
Yeah.
going on.
Well, last night, like really late, I was watching. Well, I got the DVD of Wonder Woman the other day,
Hmm.
which is on
The
my top.
the film Wonder Woman or the
Yeah,
TV show?
the film,
Okay.
and it's on my top 10 superhero list, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched it like till 2 in the morning, which was obviously wonderful.
Yes.
And one thing that just it irritates me to no end is I really don't like the ending.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so the entire movie they're setting up the naivety of Wonder Woman thinking that you can end the war by killing one guy, and the whole idea of uh, Steve Trevor saying, maybe we're not worth it,
Right.
maybe they're just bad people,
Right.
and then Wonder Woman in a CGI fight kills a guy and ends the war.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It just
I
triggers me. It would have been
I actually
perfect.
see. I actually don't mind the ending because, whereas I would agree with your point if Wonder Woman had killed an actual like person, but instead she killed a god, and if she hadn't killed a Reese, then basically the world would have like been destroyed. So
Yeah.
I don't. For me though, like I don't count Reese as a man. I count him as like the driving force behind all of war. Which again in the DC universe sort of doesn't make sense because even after Reese dies, there's still wars going on. But that's just something that I think about.
Yeah, well, like the thing with me, it kind of trivializes, all the bad that happened during World War II. I mean, World War One,
Yeah.
and like it's well, it's kind of the same reason that I have some slight problems with Spider-Man 2. I know, a bunch of people are about to murder me right now because I'm speaking ill of one of the most popular superhero movies of all
I
time.
may be one of them. I don't know. Let's see what you have to say.
Okay, so Aunt May says in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
in reference to heroes, that
Mhm.
sometimes they have to give up what they want,
Oh, right. And Spider-Man, I
and then he
believe I've
gets
heard your point before.
and then he gets what he wants. He gets what he
Right.
wants.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
that just those things bother me, because it kind of they don't deliver with the theme that they're trying to.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't paid too much attention to that, like that specific topic, but I kind of see where you're coming from. Um,
I mean, no ill will towards these films because I
right.
really like those movies.
Yeah, I think Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man that was put out. But of course there's flaws in every movie,
Yeah,
no matter how good. Like Taxi Driver is one of my favorite movies. I think it's maybe in my top 3 favorite films ever made, and there's still issues I have with it. They're not like huge issues, but they're there. It's not like a perfect film.
yeah. No film is a perfect film.
Right. Like, but I do think that, on the topic of perfection in films, I don't think we'll ever achieve it, but I do think like
Yeah,
people like Martin Scorsese, um,
comes
Real,
close.
yeah, they come really close. Now, I don't like everything Martin Scorsese has done. I didn't really like The Last Temptation of Christ.
Oh yeah, with
Because
Willem Dafoe.
yeah, like I think the acting was great, but I don't. It's just historically, it's really inaccurate,
Well, yeah,
and they kind of just told the story from like Gnostic urban myths, from like the third and fourth century.
and they're kind of
So
twisting the
yeah,
truth.
yeah. So I mean like it's an okay film, but like I just kind of can't get past. Maybe I mean obviously I'm a little bit biased towards it because but it's an okay film. But I think Martin Scorsese's more of his crime oriented films, like Mean Streets, is an amazing
Oh
film.
yeah, he's
Um,
he's definitely a very gifted filmmaker, but the
yeah,
not every shot is on
no,
target.
I think one of his best movies, and it's not even really a film; it's a documentary. Or well, it's not. Of course, a documentary is a film, but it's not a
Yeah,
cinema film. So basically, it's a film called The Last Waltz, and it's
interesting.
literally like a documentary of this band called The Band, their last performance, and basically Martin Scorsese filmed the whole thing,
Well,
did like behind the scenes stuff, and I think that's one of his best films. I think the cinematography is great. Uh, the pace of the film is great. So like these sometimes the best filmmakers most non-popular films are the best ones, you
well,
know.
David Fincher used to do like Nike commercials
Mhm.
with CGI, and
Yeah, he
those
did.
are those are pretty sweet.
Mhm. How long ago was that? Like the 80s or early
No,
90s?
that was like 2000s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
Shit.
remember it was like kind of a robotic foot with Nikes on.
Oh,
Like a
yeah.
robot with Nikes on, and it was running
Yeah.
on a treadmill.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so on the topic of film, how about we talk about our most recent collab? Like let's expand a little bit more on
Oh
our
yeah,
Batman script ideas. So you can go first cuz I said in the video like my script isn't really like a full-on film. It's more of like it's my idea for a specific graphic novel
yeah.
that I'm putting in my graphic novel series. So, but you go first. I'll try and like come up with some stuff to, make it a little bit better.
Well, the pitch I gave in your video,
Mhm.
um, I think that would probably be the second movie in a trilogy.
Mm. Mhm.
And then, as I've told you, I've written a Batman script,
Mhm. Which I have
seven-
not read yet.
70-page Batman script.
Oh, nice. I
Um,
didn't know it was that long.
it's it's about Batman in his early years. It's basically 1 year after year one because
Okay.
they
So it's kind
reference
of
it.
like Arkham Origins, like that time period, like
Yeah.
2 years.
And do you know who Doctor Death is?
Yeah.
He's the main villain.
Oh, that's really interesting. See,
Nobody uses Doctor Death.
I don't think, yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't think anyone would ever think of putting him in a Batman film of all films.
I loved his issues in Detective Comics, like way back in the
Yeah.
30s,
Mhm.
because he was a really interesting bad guy.
Yeah, I think the original ideas for the villains for Batman were like they were all really dark. And I
Yeah,
really loved it because like people are always like, well, Batman started off as like a lighthearted character, but no, like Batman was a dark character. He was the darkest superhero that anyone had
Yeah.
seen up to that point. And I mean, I remember reading the issue of Detective Comics. I forget which number, but it was like a really early one. It was probably in the first 15, and Batman carried a gun. Like
Yeah.
he did. I don't think he ever actually killed anyone, but he carried a gun.
Actually,
Did he kill someone?
okay. Here's a few times to rattle off. One time he punched a guy into a sword.
Oh, yep. I know what
One
you're talking
time,
about. I know what you're talking about.
one time he shot 2 vampires, and
Mhm.
well, a vampire and a werewolf. He shot
Vampires
them
are.
in their sleep.
I kind of feel like. See,
That
all
was the
right.
moment.
So, okay. So, there's a movie that I really love and is close to my heart because it was my childhood, called Batman versus Dracula.
Oh
And
yes, the Batman.
and yup.
I love that
And
show.
it's one of my favorite TV shows ever.
Yes.
And that movie, basically, Batman kills Dracula by using sunlight,
Yeah.
Wayne Tech material. And people were like debating on YouTube whether that's Batman killing someone or not. And I say absolutely not, because there's a line drawn when you're taking a moral, like a life, and there's also a drawn line between someone who is undead and
Yeah,
kills
vampires
people.
are undead, so
Right.
these are
They're
dead.
not right. They're basically like a
Zombies.
living organism that is just being kept alive by like moving cells in their brain. Like it's not like what I count as murder is somebody actually willingly taking a life of another moral human being.
Yeah.
That's not what Batman did. Just one quick thing though about the Batman TV show. One thing I love about it is the suit. It's literally a carbon copy of the animated series suit with shorter ears and bigger eyes.
Also, the theme song.
Oh God, it's great. I gotta learn that on guitar, dude.
Nobody talks about the theme song.
No, it's so great though.
Also,
because like, oh, what were you? Yeah, go ahead.
The guy who plays Batman, his voice is just perfect.
I think it's Roman Romano or
Reno, I think.
Reno Romano. Yeah, he's great as Batman. I love his voice. He sounds kind of like a like a mid-career Batman.
Yeah.
But he's not extremely lighthearted, but he's not really extremely dark either. He's like in the middle. And basically animated series Batman.
Also, he actually has friends.
Right. And like I love the dynamic in the episodes with him and Robin and Batgirl. I love that stuff.
Also,
that was such a good show.
When he's just like playing basketball with his buddy Ethan.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Dude, you remember the episode when Joker took Bane's serum and he like yeah, that was such a good, that used to be my favorite episode because he like went to a circus or something and just basically destroyed it, and I think Batman had to get his bat suit, like the big armored one.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that show though brings back so many memories. I think I have the complete season 5 or 4 or something.
I have every season on DVD because I used to watch that on WB Kids.
Yeah, that's where I used to watch it. Yeah.
I watched it every Saturday morning.
Oh, yep. God, this is bringing back too many memories.
So much.
That's what I did with Spider-Man or Spectacular Spider-Man as well when that was out.
I remember watching that too.
I remember when what were you going to say?
The Batman is the longest running Batman show ever.
How many seasons it has? 6 or 5 or 6?
It has 5. And then the animated series has 4. And Batman Brave and the Bold has 3. And there's another one I will not speak of because I hate its guts.
The new animated series?
Well,
or the New Adventures?
No. I know Alter likes it, but Beware the Batman. I hate it.
Yeah, Beware the Batman.
I hate it.
Yeah, how come you don't like it? I've never really watched it, so I don't have an opinion. So
okay, well, number one, they don't. I know people are like, it has obscure villains, so it's good, but there's no Joker.
Oh, really?
There's only one recognizable bad guy, and that's Deathstroke. And that's in the second season.
And he's not even like an integral Batman villain. Like
Yeah,
he's not like life changing to Batman.
he's more Teen Titans.
Yeah, and he's more of like when he does go up against Batman, he's not a psychological villain for the most part. He's just a
Yeah.
physical villain. Like he fights Batman. He doesn't really get into his head like the Joker does or Two-Face or whatever. So yeah, I've never watched that show. I think I saw like 10 minutes of one episode like 4 years ago.
Also, it replaced one of my favorite Batman shows ever, Batman Brave and the Bold.
Now, when Batman Brave and the Bold came out, I did not like it. But that's only because I was God, what year did that show come out? 09? 08?
It was around the tens.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay, so when that show came out, I would have been like actually I can look it up. I think it's still Zoom still goes on if I go on Safari. Okay, so Batman Brave and the Bold came out in 2011.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, it was 08. It was 08. It ended in 2011. Okay, so I would have been 5. I had just turned 5. So at that point, I had really been like enveloped in the Batman show that like anything else that came after that, I was not going to watch because I love the Batman so much.
That's what mainly triggered me about Beware the Batman, because it replaced Batman Brave and the Bold.
I think I should give Batman Brave and the Bold another chance. I've never really watched much of it.
It's basically Batman teaming up with other superheroes, which is really cool.
The one episode I did like was like the introduction of Red Tornado.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That was a great episode. And that was the only one I really like gave like a good watch to, and I really liked it. So, and I like the version of Nightwing they used.
Oh yeah,
he was a really comic accurate Nightwing.
Also, it had Dick Grayson as Robin too, and he was really good.
Yeah, the Batman voice was pretty interesting.
Yes, like, Diedrich Bader.
Yeah, he's not bad at all. Like I think his tonality for the show fits that show. Like you couldn't have Kevin Conroy being. I know Kevin Conroy made a cameo appearance on the show.
Yeah, he played the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh.
Yep. Yeah. I love that. I think that's awesome. Wait, who played the Joker in that show?
Is John DiMaggio.
Oh wait a minute. Actually, it says Jeff Bennett played Joker.
Jeff Bennett, okay.
John DiMaggio was in the show, though. He played Aquaman.
Yeah, I remembered he was in, because that's a memorable name, DiMaggio.
Yeah. DiMaggio played Joker in, oh God, what did he play in? Justice League Unlimited. Justice League Unlimited, he played Dream Slayer. Do you remember that?
Oh, that makes sense.
He played God, I'm trying to look for the Batman show. Oh, he was Hammerhead in Spectacular Spider-Man and Sandman. That's weird.
That's interesting. He's done a lot of animated roles.
Yeah. Oh wait, was he was the Joker in Batman Black and White? Was he the Joker, or was it someone else? I know he's played a Joker. I know it.
Yeah.
But what freaking Joker? I'm looking at films now. Those are TV shows. Nothing?
That's weird.
What the hell? No way.
Anyways.
Oh, Under the Red Hood.
Oh, that's why I remembered. That was a really good movie.
I love Under the Red Hood.
Yeah.
God, that's a great movie, yeah.
The animated movies that DC does, well, like the DC AMU, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
The animation's not distinct.
No.
That's why I don't love it.
Me neither. I do think some of the stories are all right.
Also, Batman Hush sucks.
I have not. I didn't even watch it because it just looked garbage.
Okay, guess who Hush was?
Was it not?
Freaking Riddler. Freaking
what?
Riddler. He had a riddle carved on his head.
Wait, that's not what happened in the comic.
No, it's not.
What the hell?
They had
So they didn't use Thomas Elliot at all.
they had him killed off.
What? Then who the hell was he?
The Riddler.
No, I mean, who the hell was Thomas Elliot?
He
Like
was
he
Thomas
wasn't.
Elliot. He did.
So he
didn't do
wasn't even
anything.
Hush.
He wasn't Hush.
Oh, that's stupid. That's trash.
It's a terrible movie.
I'm not even gonna watch it at this point. I have no interest in watching it because of
It
what
sucks
you just
so
told me.
much. Why?
Oh, that's wrong.
It just why would you do that? Why?
Yeah, that's horrible.
And
Um,
the Riddler carved a stupid question mark on his forehead.
Oh my god.
It looks so stupid.
Dude, that's actually dumb.
I know.
I might just watch it just because of how stupid it sounds. But I'm not gonna give it any like thought because it just sounds really bad.
You should just burn it.
Dude, I was surprisingly disappointed with the Killing Joke movie. I thought it was going to be like amazing, like they were going to do the comic so much justice.
Except they dilly-dallied for like 30 minutes.
All right, like you may hate me for this because I know you love Bruce Timm.
Actually, he's done some wrong in the past, like Batman and Harley Quinn.
Yeah. But like, okay, I think I love what he did with the animated series.
Yeah,
but the movies he's been putting out are just god awful.
They're garbage.
Like, I'm not excited for this new one that he's What was the movie that he's adapting now?
I think it's kind of like Ninjas.
Was it The Long Halloween?
No, it's not Long Halloween. It's not something I've read before. It was something like ninjas, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that type of stuff.
Well, I saw that and everyone was like, "Oh, this is so good for the DC community." And I retweeted and I said, "This is horrible because he is going to like put in some sexual fantasy."
He does that all the time.
I know, and it's like it started with Batgirl and Batman. First of all, that's really weird.
Yeah, he hooked up Batgirl and Batman, even though
was she like 18?
Yeah, she got pregnant with Batman's child.
Wait, what?
In the comics.
Oh, in the comics, yeah.
In the comics connected to the DCAU, Batman impregnated Batgirl.
Ugh, all right, that's like nastiness right there.
Also, there's in The Killing Joke, they made out. Well, they
had sex on the rooftop.
It's so creepy because Batman's an adult.
He's like 40.
Also, when you look back at the show, when you see
the animated series?
Yeah, in the animated series, when you see Bruce talking to Barbara, you're like, It really like, changes your views.
Right. Like, now we know the parts of the TV show that Bruce Timm had ideas for.
Yeah.
And personally, I think the genius of the animated series is Paul Dini, without a doubt.
Well, yeah. He's an amazing writer.
I think if he wrote a Batman movie, that would be amazing.
Be amazing.
It would probably be the greatest comic book accurate Batman film we'll ever.
It would probably be the best superhero movie.
Oh yeah, because see, Paul Dini, for some reason, I don't know why, he understands the character of Batman so much.
Yeah.
More than anyone else I can think of. Like Zack Snyder fans, just like praise Zack Snyder for like, oh, he got the Batman perfect. It's such a different interpretation.
But he doesn't get Batman or Superman.
No, and like, fine, if you want to make Batman kill in the movie, fine, go ahead. I'm not gonna really support it, but
that's not Batman.
But don't tell me you understand the character and that he would do that.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't. If you're gonna do it just to see what would happen for your own universe, fine, I support that. But if you're gonna do it and say like, oh well, I'm the one who knows the most about the character thus far, I'm doing it right. Like, no, I think the fans know a little bit more than you.
Yeah, and Paul Dini, I think, may be the best Batman writer.
I think. Well, I think he's the best Batman writer.
for like TV and movies.
But he's written some great comic books too.
Yeah,
I'm like he's written some phenomenal ones.
he wrote one about when he got mugged.
Yeah. But like, there's so many great Batman writers. It's uncanny. Like, there's
Yeah,
Grant Morrison,
Danny O'Neill,
Danny
and he
O'Neill.
died. He died like last week, which is
Yeah,
sad.
I know. Um, there's
Neil Adams.
Neil Adams, Alan Moore. Oh God, who is the writer for freaking I actually have the book right here. How am I forgetting this? I just read this. Jeff Loeb. Yeah.
Oh, I love Jeff Loeb.
I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's definitely up there. My favorite graphic novels is The Long Halloween and
The
Dark
Long
Victory.
Halloween should be a movie.
I know. I don't know why they haven't adapted that yet. Because that could easily take up 3.5 hours. The Long Halloween as a movie.
Matt Reeves better adapt Long Halloween because it's like a noir.
Right, and like I think
what he's
it would
going
be.
for.
I think it would be amazing as a sequel, and then like if he wants to introduce the Joker, wait until the third movie, or like towards the end of the second film, and like kind of make it so. What? Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, personally, I would love if they made multiple like trilogies because I want a lot of Batman.
So do I. It's just like the problem is with Batman is a lot of the writers we get don't understand Batman fully.
Yeah.
So they might understand aspects of Batman, but they don't understand the whole bigger picture of who Batman is.
Like,
and it's frustrating.
For all I love about Batman, Tim Burton, he didn't get Batman.
I think they're weird movies. Like I like the movies, but they're weird. Like
they're great as movies, but they're not great Batman movies.
Yeah,
he didn't understand Batman, but actually, fun fact: Tim Burton changed a lot of the story. Like the guy who wrote it wrote a really good Batman story, but that's not what you see. Like in the original, in the script, the Joker did not kill Batman's parents.
Yeah, that was always weird to me. Every time I watched it, I was like, that seems really off. Like, I didn't like that whole Batman or Joker killed Batman's parents.
The main problem is that Batman is Batman because of chance and choice.
Right.
Because his parents were killed by chance, and then he chose to avenge them by helping other people.
Right.
Like, he chose. It wasn't fate.
Right.
Like Tim Burton's was like. Because that's basically fate. Because Joker killed Batman's parents, and then he became Batman and killed Joker.
Right. Because, like, at the end of the movie, Batman continuously says, "You made me." And then he goes on his little rant, "Now I'm going to kill you." And Batman is a fucking psychopath in those movies. Like,
Batman shouldn't kill.
No, and like he does it. See, the problem is like, although Ben Affleck's Batman is like a merciless killer, like he kills like everybody. It doesn't matter. He brands people so that they will die, which is absolutely immoral as hell. And that was one thing. Like, I watched those extra scenes in BVS for the Ultimate Edition because I prefer the Ultimate Edition.
I've never watched it. Is it good?
It's so much better. It's like 30 minutes of extra footage. It's like the director's cut, basically.
So, like, what's in those 30 minutes?
There's more dialogue between Batman and Alfred. Elongated scenes like I'm pretty sure the Lex Luthor scene at his like party at his house is longer.
With that movie, I wish there were more actual Batman versus Superman because it was like 15 minutes.
A lot of people said that to me, but at the same time, like, I do wish they had maybe like 2 more fights. But at the same time, it's Batman versus Superman doesn't necessarily have to mean Batman physically versus Superman.
Yeah.
because I think the whole point of the film was the psychology of why Batman hated Superman.
Also,
And it was kind of them clashing heads the whole time. Like, well, you're not going to be or above the law, Batman. And Batman was like, well, you're like freaking a god, and you're here on my planet, destroying my people.
The movie was already ill-conceived because, there hadn't been a movie to establish Batman, so they had to establish Batman. They had to be a sequel to Man of Steel. They had to set up so much.
I think that Man of Steel should have had a sequel before Batman versus Superman.
Absolutely.
I think Batman versus Superman should have been like its own movie rather than being a Man of Steel sequel. And
the Justice League setup. And the Batman introduction.
Zack Snyder's whole idea, like it was good ideas, but like terribly
execution.
Terrible execution. He did not know what the hell he was doing. Yeah. When it came to setting up stories.
And everybody blames everything that goes wrong on the company messing with the flow of the magical director. It's not always that. Sometimes the director he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right, like David Ayer. I really don't like his directing style.
I don't want to see Ayer cut. I just don't.
If it comes out, I'll watch it to see if it's worth it. But I don't really care. I'll watch Suicide Squad like once in a while because it's kind of fun. Like, but at the same time, it's like David Ayer is nothing special to me as a director.
Mm-hmm. And also, I don't like Jared Leto's Joker.
I will not speak of him. No, I'm just kidding.
It's bad.
But yeah, it is just horrendous.
The grill. He has a grill.
And the balls David Ayer has to say, well, his performance was cut out of the movie, like completely cut out of the film. That's why it was like you didn't see the best parts. And I'm like, dude, the look alone ruins the character for me. That is not what Joker is. Yeah, I know. Like, what the hell is that? The whole point of Joker too is he doesn't acknowledge necessarily that he's mentally ill. Yeah. He thinks he's the sanest person on the planet. And that is the beauty of the Joker. By putting damaged on your head, it's like you're saying, yeah, I'm pretty fucked up, but you know what? Yeah. I'm okay with it.
Also,
I don't know.
Why would the Joker have tattoos?
It's absolutely unbeknownst to me. I would ask David frickin' Ayer who.
Also, who's asking for shirtless Joker? Who?
Oh God, yeah.
Who?
That whole scene when he said,
"This is just gonna hurt
you really bad." Yeah, that was so bad.
The writing for that movie is just horrendous.
I listened to those lines in that film and I'm like, that's cheesy as hell. Like, why would they put that in there?
Like that. As much as I love the CW, that's like CW level lines.
That's a great example.
I mean, it's like TV grade.
I know, and that's the problem. Like in Batman, oh my gosh, he was critically underused in that movie.
Yes.
He could have had some cool scenes, but
it could have been like the animated movie of Suicide Squad.
Oh, Assault on Arkham.
Well, yeah, there's that and the other one.
Those movies.
There's Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
I haven't seen it, but the other one, the Suicide Squad, Assault on Arkham, they handled that story a lot better.
Bro, that movie though, the thing about that, it was a little weird seeing Harley Quinn and Deadshot have sex.
Oh yeah, that's a weird pairing.
Yeah, and like I'm pretty sure she was still with the Joker.
Also, isn't Deadshot married?
I don't know if he wasn't.
He has a kid.
Oh shit! Yeah, I think he might have been married in that movie.
Because in the Suicide Squad movie, there's the scene where Deadshot's aiming a gun at Batman, and his
daughter's there.
That could have been done well.
Yeah.
If David Ayer knew what he was doing.
Yeah, but like Batman, even in that scene, it was like, so, I don't want to do this in front of your daughter, Deadshot. Like, Batman would not say it like that. He would say something along the lines
He'd talk him down.
He would exactly. And even if he were to say something like, I don't want to do this in front of your daughter, he wouldn't have said Deadshot. He would have been like, he would have said Floyd.
Yeah, because
Like,
Batman's
it's kind of
compassionate.
cheesy. Yeah, and he's cheesy as hell in that film.
Yeah.
Like, by saying, you don't. Batman would never say a supervillain's name like that if they're not, like, in supervillain, like, gear or
Plus,
whatever.
that's
I
more
don't
like
know.
it's more like a threat than, helping him.
Right. And I mean, Deadshot, of course, I understand why Batman would be ill-minded to Deadshot because he's a villain to him. But at the same time, it's like Batman wouldn't have said it in that way in a sentence. He could have just like freaking sneak attacked him rather than landing 10 feet away from him and behind him and waiting for him to turn around with his daughter there.
Also, you know what's sad?
Yeah.
Arrow did a better job of portraying Deadshot than the movies did.
Yeah. Will Smith, to me, was a weird pick for Deadshot. He wasn't bad in the long run, I don't think. I don't like it sucks that he's not Deadshot anymore because I think he had potential.
Also, Will Smith is one of the best actors right now.
I think he's all right. Like he's in a lot of blockbusters.
Well, yeah.
I don't think he's like a great actor though, personally, but
I mean, I loved his older roles like Men in Black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like
I like them too.
When he was more, when he wasn't super famous, he was good.
Yeah. Personally, I'm more of like I prefer old school movies more.
Yeah.
So like
my favorite movies are from the 20th century.
Me too. Yeah, I agree. There's some that I think are really great from obviously the 21st because
there's like a few like the Sherlock Holmes movies with Robert Downey Jr.
Mm-hmm.
The Zodiac by David Fincher.
Yeah. Obviously the Nolan trilogy.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for Tenet. Seriously, yes. That is my most anticipated film for the year.
It's the guy who directed the Dark Knight trilogy with the next Dark Knight.
I know it's pretty awesome.
Also, he crashed a real plane. He crashed a real plane in the movie. Funny.
And Robert Pattinson's he's like, well, that part's a bit more extreme.
Yeah,
I love that.
I mean, Nolan goes all the way.
I know, and I think Nolan personally, like him choosing Robert Pattinson. Because Robert Pattinson overall is not looked at as like an amazing actor because he was in the Twilight movies. But I think
that's like a seal of approval.
It's I agree. And to me, it's also parallel to what he did with Heath Ledger because Heath Ledger was like a heartthrob to teenage girls. And he was in like all these like romance movies.
Like 10 Things to Hit About You.
I love that movie personally. I love it. But still,
Heath Ledger's great.
He's my favorite actor, personally. But it's weird though because he was my favorite actor before I even knew he was the Joker. So the Joker just strengthened my love for him as an actor.
It's really sad what happened to him, though.
I agree. Yeah, it's terrible because, especially like he didn't even get to see the Dark Knight release.
Yeah.
And he was always talking about how it was like that was his most fun he had ever had on a film, and he would probably never do anything more fun. And he was right because he passed away.
And he didn't get to see how much people loved him.
I know Heath Ledger's Joker became a cultural icon,
and
it still is. I mean, people are obsessed with that character.
People are cosplaying as him.
I know, and especially just not even in pop culture alone, but in the comic book community alone.
Yeah,
he sparked something that was never there before, even with Jack Nicholson's Joker.
Yeah,
Heath really embodied who the Joker actually was.
Very true.
But I think Joaquin Phoenix is like absolutely astounding though as the Joker.
Yeah.
He understands the character as well.
I hope they don't make a sequel.
I don't know where I stand on that, but it's hard to say. Because it depends on what the ending actually is. If it's a dream or it's not a dream, it depends. So if it's a dream, a sequel would be more like a normal
Rehash.
psychological thriller rather than it being a Joker movie because he's not
Yeah.
actually the Joker. He's just some mentally ill guy who killed some lady in an asylum. So,
Yeah.
but I think either or a sequel could be interesting. There's routes that Todd Phillips could take if he would be the director again,
Yeah.
which I would hope because Todd Phillips did like a phenomenal job.
Who else will do it? Who else could do it?
I don't think anyone else has the
Yeah.
capability of doing the way that he did it, which is weird because Todd Phillips was a comedy director.
Yeah, he did those Hangover movies.
I know, and
It was really surprising.
he directed two of my favorite movies of all time, or two of my favorite comedies of all time, Old School and Road Trip. And
Interesting.
he directed them, and I was like, I saw him in those movies, and then I saw an interview of Todd Phillips, and I was like, oh, okay, he looks familiar. And then I watched Joker, and it says Todd Phillips directed, and I said, wait a minute, who the hell directed this movie? And I looked it up, and I went, no. I was like gobsmacked.
How does he go from making those movies to making Joker?
I have no idea. And his comedy is extremely hilarious, and he's an underrated director for comedy. But Joker just brought him to like a new level of respect for me as a director and filmmaker.
To everyone.
Oh yeah, I mean he's probably going to be looked at now to make even more thriller-based movies, psychological thrillers.
Yeah.
I personally don't think Todd Phillips will do them.
Yeah.
I think Todd Phillips will only stick to Joker if that is where he wants to go with the sequel.
Yeah, I think he'll just do what he wants,
I really respect Joaquin Phoenix as an actor, though, because
dude has chops.
I know, and he doesn't approach roles with like any like, oh God, I'm scared to do this. Like he said when he entered Joker, he just kind of went with it. I was like, what? How do you go do Joker and just kind of be yourself? Like you have to stand on the shoulders of some greats who played that character before you.
I think
And
also the way he approached it reminded me of Heath Ledger.
yeah. He got into the physical manifestations.
Yeah, like
as well as the mental. Whereas,
he basically starved himself.
Oh yeah.
And you can see
Heath Ledger's wasn't really skinny. It was like he looked like Heath Ledger's body type. So I don't think he lost any weight. But like Heath, you can look at him through the movie. He's like doing these weird movements and like stuttering and stuff. Licking his lips.
Yeah.
You know the story behind that, don't you?
What was it? I know he journaled.
Yeah, he did, but like the licking lips actually was an accident.
It was?
Yeah, because what ended up happening was, the scar makeup that they had to put on?
Yeah.
So basically that makeup had to go like in his mouth a little bit over the inside of his lip.
Really?
And to stop it from falling off, he would wet it with his tongue.
That's amazing.
I know, and it became part of the character, and I was like,
yeah,
that's amazing.
I mean, that's one of the most important parts because, adds to his creepiness.
Right, and
like when he's walking towards Rachel, licking his lips.
Yeah, and like does the little hairbrush.
Yeah.
I love that.
God. And then he like grabs her face.
Yeah, he's like, come here.
Yeah, she was really uncomfortable with that.
I know, you can tell. Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Which is funny to me that Maggie Gyllenhaal, the sister of Jake Gyllenhaal, played in a movie with Heath when Heath and Jake were actually really good, almost best friends from playing in Brokeback Mountain together.
Also, Jake Gyllenhaal has done a lot of roles similar. Like
he has. I think Jake Gyllenhaal is a tremendous actor.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Donnie Darko, which is like his starting point as like a big actor, but I love the movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it, Wildlife.
Wildlife. What's that about?
It's basically about this 14-year-old boy in the early 60s, and he's basically watching his parents' marriage fall apart, and Jake Gyllenhaal plays the dad.
Wow.
It's like, seriously, it's a great movie.
He was in Zodiac.
Yeah, he was, and he was
the main character.
Yeah.
I
He
loved
was
it.
he was in Zodiac, Nightcrawler. Oh God, what was that movie?
There was one where he was where
Insomniacs or something.
there was one where this guy was trying to steal his life, and
Mhm.
it was him.
Yeah. I don't remember what it's called. I know what you're talking about though.
Two Jake Gyllenhaals playing against each other.
Yep. Yeah. And then he was in Prisoners, which was also a great movie.
Also, obviously, he played Mysterio.
Which was interesting, but he was to me
I,
the best part of that
yeah,
movie.
I think he
He
did
was so
that really
good.
well.
Me too. And
It were,
like when I saw him as Mysterio, I was like, he doesn't look like Mysterio material. But I watched the movie and I was like, that was like seriously good.
his portrayal felt kind of like Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I agree. Nightcrawler is a really interesting movie. It's not really meant to be a creepy movie, but it has creepy cinematography.
Well,
Like
obviously,
it's really dark
like when he
and
screams in the mirror.
yeah, and like Jake Gyllenhaal, if you watch him when he's taking pictures in that movie with his camera, his eyes are like really wide and you can sort of see his pupils bulging out. It's really weird.
He's just really an interesting actor.
Yeah. I think his style of acting is unique to him.
I hope he returns in another Spider-Man movie.
So do I, but I don't know how because he's
Like
dead.
a Sinister Six. He could have tricked Spider-Man.
He could have, but
Because he did reveal Peter's identity, so
that's true.
maybe
And
that was his
Peter was like
plan.
right there and he didn't notice it.
Maybe that was his plan to pretend to be dead, and
Possibly. I don't know.
he could be the leader of the Sinister Six.
See, that would be awesome because
That
I
would
think I would love to see Jake Gyllenhaal in more Marvel movies. I think Sam Raimi's um, Doctor Strange is going to be amazing,
Yeah,
and he could do something with that.
he could
And
bring Tobey
My
Maguire
God,
Spider-Man.
I was just gonna say, my God, if he brings Tobey Maguire back, I'm gonna cry in the movie theater.
How about this?
I swear.
What if he brought both Spider-Man?
I was Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
I think that would be amazing.
yeah.
It would absolutely be awesome.
3 Spider-Man. I mean, 2 Spider-Man.
I think I'd be like, I would be blown away in the movie theater, and I'd just be sitting there in disbelief. And I think the whole theater is probably gonna have like a like a gasp
Yeah.
if that actually were to happen. That would be amazing. But yeah. So all right, do you want to switch gears to like WB Montreal and stuff like
Yeah.
that? Okay, so I'll start off by saying so if any of you saw my recent uploads, basically anyone in the Arkham community's recent uploads, you know, WB is in a lot of different situations right now. So we have obviously the AT&T dilemma. AT&T is 100% going to sell WB. We don't know to who yet. It's concerning to anyone that they sell it to because none of them are
Obviously.
trustworthy with video games. Yeah. I think the main ones that will seriously screw it up is Activision and EA, even though I don't trust Take-Two Interactive.
Yeah.
I think they're the least amount or the least percentage to cause like a huge amount of issues. But WB is involved with that. And also WB Games has DC Fandom coming up. We know that Rocksteady and WB Montreal were supposed to reveal games at E3. And obviously WB just revealed Hitman 3, but that is not the only video game they're revealing.
Obviously.
They just, I guess, right. And they just chose the PS5 event to do that. So, and I posted a video even about how I knew it. Well, I wasn't expecting anything from them at that event because there was no, there was no kind of lead up to it. Like, oh, you should be expecting something. Because usually in the past, when they bring up the Batman game without saying it's Batman, they kind of like allude to it on different social medias. So
Yeah.
like we just recently got the DC Mexico thing with like we could be seeing this game very soon, and it shows a picture of Batman Return to Arkham.
Yeah, they usually like post pictures on their Twitter.
Yeah, and I think that without a shadow of a doubt, we're getting this game, a trailer by August 22nd. I am 100% participating in DC fandom. You have
Yes.
no doubt.
I already
And
sent a picture
on what, Twitter?
on DC fandom. They told people to send pictures of. Well, I did a cosplay. I sent a cosplay that I did.
I didn't even see that. What do you send pictures
It's on
of?
the website.
So what are you supposed to send pictures of? Just like
Uh,
anything DC
you can
related?
choose different things.
I'm gonna do it probably, or at least I'll visit it and see what it is,
And I
because I
think they're
haven't
gonna
heard
put
of
your
it.
picture, like people's pictures, like on during the event.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
It is good because like it's a free online event. Nobody has to pay any money, and um, everybody can kind of get together in the comfort of their own home rather than traveling. So it is good, even though I love going to physical places and seeing trailers with like a crowd.
yeah,
But still, it's better than nothing, and it's great that they're actually doing this. I'm so excited for the panels for the Batman.
yes.
So excited. Did you see my video on the frickin' Matt Reeves tweet you sent me?
Oh yeah, that was
God, dude.
hilarious.
It seriously, it like took a part of my heart out.
Yeah, when
I
when I first saw that, it freaked me out. Like, my gosh,
what the
are you?
hell?
I thought 2020. Are you seriously doing this to me? Are you
I know, and I was like,
seriously doing this to me?
I said to myself, seriously, it just got announced at DC fandom that there was going to be a panel, and then you're canceling it and shelving it? Like, what are you, Matt Reeves?
Yeah,
And then I saw it wasn't real, and I went, oh my God. I was like, I felt like an idiot because I didn't look at the freaking username.
me too.
I saw Matt Reeves, and I went, oh shit, we're done.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the username, and it had 3 T's. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's really trolling. But yeah, so sorry, I went off topic there, guys. But DC fandom's coming, and most likely me, Ultra, and Alter will be having like a lot of different videos on our personal channels going over releases and stuff, because I'm pretty sure with the way DC handles things, we'll probably be getting little teasers to certain things that'll be coming up at DC fandom until a couple weeks before. So we just got the release of like the Deathstroke thing, the TV
Yeah.
or the movie. And so I think we'll probably be seeing things of that nature, like maybe like in a couple weeks, oh, so-and-so is going to be showcased at DC fandom. Here's what to expect.
What I think is Marvel is pretty much screwed after Endgame because they can't really go higher.
Right. That
But
was
DC
like,
has so much room to go.
oh yeah, they're just getting started.
Like Marvel is basically peaked for me because I'm not
I agree.
excited for really anything except for maybe Doctor Strange.
Black Widow looks interesting.
Well, yeah, but Wonder
That's
Woman's
not like something
gonna be better.
extreme. Oh my God, by far, yeah.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman just overall has a better story than Black Widow
yeah,
as a character. I think Black Widow is very one-dimensional, personally.
because there's not much to explore. Like it
No.
would be interesting if maybe it was like a spy team up between her and Hawkeye, and explain what was it again that they keep saying? Like
I know what you're talking about, like
yeah,
the mission that they were on.
If they explain that, it might be an interesting movie, but
Right.
that her and a bunch of Russians.
The problem for me is like this film doesn't take place after Endgame.
Yeah.
And I don't really give a crap about a freaking prequel at this point. We watched all these films just to be taken back. Like,
yeah.
I don't want to see a prequel. Like, Wonder Woman was a prequel, but that's because they didn't have a universe set up yet.
Yeah, that was an origin story, so.
Right. They had 2 films. Oh, but prior to or 3, wait, was it 2 or 3 films prior to Wonder Woman? That was it.
Like,
and like, come on.
The only like supposed Marvel movies that I would ever be interested in right now is maybe like a Spider-Man movie, a
me too.
an X-Men or a Fantastic
Oh, God,
Four.
yeah.
But
I
none
agree.
of those things have been announced.
I do want to say regarding Fantastic Four, although the remake of it was pretty bad,
Mm-hmm.
Miles Teller is a phenomenal actor. That movie did not do him justice. The guy who played Mr. Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
I just got done watching Whiplash for the first time like a week ago.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that movie was amazing. Miles Teller is a tremendous actor. So anyone out there who's judging his performance on that film, go watch Whiplash. He was also in a boxing film. That movie, I forget what it was called, but that was a phenomenal film. He's just, War Dogs with Jonah Hill he was in.
Well, Josh Trank said the Fantastic Four movie was bad, so
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like that movie. But surprisingly, funnily enough, I didn't mind the original one just because I grew up on it, even though it's kind of bad.
They're not terrible.
They're not terrible, but they're not good. Like, I'll watch them though, just because it's like fucking Chris Evans is like, why of all people, it's just funny to see him go from that to being like Captain America, and now he's like the standard for what Captain America is.
Yeah.
And I think
Chris Evans played 3 superheroes.
Wait, so he played Wait, who did he play? He played Captain America,
the Human Torch,
and
wait,
what was the third?
He was in this movie it's not Marvel or DC, but it was this guy who had like telepathy, and he could like use guns in midair, like, you know.
Was he younger at that point?
Yeah, he was pretty young, and it's a pretty hilarious movie because the effects are bad. Like he's forcing guns up into the air, shooting people, and it's kind of goofy.
It sounds pretty bad.
You should search it up sometime. It's fun to watch because, you know, it's goofy.
Yeah. But yeah, so DC's definitely given Marvel a run for their money.
I mean, I'm excited for everything coming from DC now.
So am I. Isn't Batgirl getting another season, or Batwoman getting another season?
Yeah.
I don't really like that show.
They're replacing the character after one season. Yeah, so the actor left, and at first they were going to just recast her. But now they're making a brand new character.
Really?
After one season.
I didn't hear about it. I never paid attention.
I don't care about that show because the writing's terrible, even for CW standards.
Yeah. Like, The Flash is a really good show. Arrow was a really good show. Supergirl's a pretty good show. I like it.
My problem right now is I think those shows are in a like down spiral because Flash isn't really good anymore. No. Arrow's gone, and that last season was good.
Yeah.
Supergirl.
I think all of Arrow's seasons were really good.
Yeah, Supergirl this season was meh. A little bit better than this season of The Flash. Legends of Tomorrow is absolute garbage, and I will never change my mind because it sucks.
Yeah, and like, but at least DC has TV shows on their hands. Marvel's TV shows are so bad.
But like, there's a season for every show that's like amazing. Like, Supergirl's season 3 and 4, I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Flash has a lot of good seasons. Like 1 and 2 it's masterful storytelling for those ones. Yeah. Like Reverse Flash. I loved how they did Reverse Flash.
Yeah. I thought they did a good job introducing Wally West.
Oh yeah, they did.
That was a good introduction.
I really liked that character.
Me too. Wally West, for some reason, when I was a younger lad, I thought Wally West was the first Flash. And
because he was on Justice League.
Yes, exactly. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, damn. That's Barry Allen. Wow, I've been living a lie.
Wally even referenced Barry in an episode of Justice League.
Really?
He said he he said something about his uncle.
Huh. I did not know that. But yeah. So DC, me and Ultra are like excited for everything.
I mean, I've obviously been a DC fan my entire life,
Me too.
but
I've
now
never
it's
not
paying
been.
off.
But see, for me, my first superhero was actually Spider-Man, not Batman. Well, it was a mix of the two. It was a mixture. But I was never really a Marvel fan except for Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, because
To
there
me,
wasn't much
Spider-Man,
else.
right? And like to me, Spider-Man is the only one with like incredible writing.
Also,
Not so much anymore.
also, like Spider-Man has the Batman Rogues Gallery of Marvel.
He does, yeah. But the problem with Spider-Man's villains are they're like kind of useless. A lot of them, like the Batman has significant connections to his villains, which make
Yeah.
them so good. Whereas Spider-Man's some of like Green Goblin, amazing villain. Doctor Octopus, great villain. Rhino, pretty great villain. Venom, arguably his best villain.
Well, yeah.
But like they don't. Other than those like main ones, there's not really any. Whereas Batman has Joker, Two-Face, Penguin, Killer Croc, Zaz, Scarecrow.
Also, they're like connected
Firefly.
to aspects of the character.
Right, and they
Like-
all bring out a different part of who Batman is.
Like Joker is the antithesis.
right,
Penguin is like a reminder of his wealth and status.
right.
Mr. Freeze is, well, it's about who Batman could be.
Right, and then like Two-Face is a reminder of Batman's failure.
Yeah, and they seriously did Two-Face wrong in those the Schumacher movies.
Oh God, I don't even want to talk about that.
They changed his freaking race. They changed his race.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. Okay, so
No,
in the-
he was Billy D. Williams in the first movie.
in the Burton movies, and then they changed
Yeah.
him to Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh! I see what you mean. I thought you
thought-
meant they changed his race in like general. I was like, no, he was always a white dude.
I thought that was,
But
I thought that was bullcrap. Right?
yeah, you're right. I thought it was absolute because like it makes the movies feel like not connected.
Also,
it's like, how do you go from having a black man play one of the most beloved characters, and Billy D. Williams would have been a tremendous Two-Face.
he would have been amazing.
And how do you go from that to getting Tommy Lee Jones, a white dude,
yeah,
and just he demolished the character of Two-Face?
yes,
I mean, there was aspects I liked, but
he was too
I
goofy.
liked how way too goofy, and I liked how Tim Burton didn't make him Two-Face in the first film.
Yeah,
You see no reference to it at
he
all,
took time for him to develop.
which in the long run didn't end up happening because
Yeah.
because
Well, because the funny thing is, Warner Brothers was like a bunch of parents were like, the movies are too dark, so they kicked Burton out, and then they even tried to get Michael Keaton to stay. Like offered him a bunch of money, but Keaton wouldn't do it because it was because the script was absolute garbage.
right. And Michael Gow,
I love Michael Gow.
so do I, but I'm surprised he stayed for the other Batman movies because they were so bad.
He still did a great job.
As Alfred, yeah, you can't really. How can someone go wrong with Alfred?
Michael Gow
Is
is
my
like
question.
is like the star of those movies, like the diamond in the rough.
And he's the quintessential Alfred, in my opinion.
Yes, I said that in my pitch.
I do wish that he had like a little mustache, though.
Yes.
My favorite iteration of Alfred is the animated series.
Ephraim
Alfred.
Zimbalist Jr.
Yep.
I love that guy.
And well, actually, technically, if I'm going to be serious, my favorite voice of Alfred is the Arkham voice. I forget his name.
Oh yeah, I think it would be
sounds
interesting.
just You can finish. Sorry, my bad.
I think it would be interesting to see that type of Alfred in the Batman movies because Andy Serkis kind of looks like that for sure.
How old? I'm going to look this up real quick. I believe Andy Serkis is in his late 50s.
Yeah.
So he's a little bit young. Yeah, he's only 56.
Oh,
which is
I
really
need to
young.
go. I need to go for a second.
Oh, that's fine.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Just talk to yourself.
Okay. But so yeah, guys, like Andy Serkis is kind of a little bit young. I think that it could work considering, like, now that I think of it, that he's playing in a movie where it's a much younger Batman and it takes place in the 90s, obviously. But I wonder what look they're going for in the Batman, because obviously Alfred's classic look is he's bald on the top and he has like the hair on his sides of his head, and he has the little mustache. Andy Serkis looks totally not like Alfred, but then again, neither did Mike Gal, and neither did Michael Caine. So I think they could keep the way Andy Serkis looks, but yeah, I don't know. Let me go to the cast of the Batman real quick. Sorry, I'm uninteresting because I'm not talking to anyone right now. Okay, so all right, so I'm on the Batman cast listing. So okay, let's just go over the cast real quick. So we have Robert Pattinson, obviously Zoe Kravitz, who is a really good take or a really good pick for Catwoman. Paul Dano, who is my personal, I'm looking the most forward to him besides Robert Pattinson, to the Riddler, because I think Paul Dano is a phenomenal actor.
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back. I'm just talking about the Batman cast.
Yes, good job.
Thank you. But yeah, so Paul Dano is my most anticipated actor in this movie, aside from Robert Pattinson, because I think he's such a great actor. And same with John Turturro. And Colin Farrell will be a really interesting.
I hope he's like the Penguin from Arkham games, because I think he'd be the best as that type.
Yeah, I agree. They really need to start marketing this film, though.
Well, yeah. I hope that's.
I mean, it is a bit early, but you know.
I hope that's what they do with DC fandom.
I agree. Yeah, like I know they probably won't have a trailer out by then, but at least show us some art or some story info, because
It would be so cool if we got a trailer.
We have no idea what this movie's about. I mean, we have a brief outline, but we don't know what Riddler's part is. We don't know what Carmine Falcone's part is.
We don't know what Batman's going to be like.
No.
Like his personality.
Right, exactly. I am looking forward to Jeffrey Wright.
Who's he playing again?
Commissioner Gordon.
Oh yeah, I'm really interested to see how they do that.
Yeah, and it's worth noting this is the first time they're making Commissioner Gordon a African American character, and I think that could seriously be a great route to take, because I think we need to stop stereotyping certain comic book characters like Nick Fury. I think
he's
Samuel
great
L. Jackson,
as an African American.
Samuel L. Jackson is the quintessential Nick Fury for me. And he was originally, I believe he was white.
Yeah, he was white.
He was white originally, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that was the best take. And I don't think anyone will ever be as good as Gary Oldman, personally, because he was really, really great.
Also, the Commissioner Gordon from the animated series.
Oh, yeah. But I think that Jeffrey Wright can take this in his own direction.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. But, like, I do want to touch on this a little bit, and I could receive hate from this, but whatever. We need to stop talking about race and, like, changing the color of a superhero's skin. Right?
Yeah.
So, like, let's say this, for example. Some people wanted Michael B. Jordan to play Superman. Now,
is there a problem with that?
I think there's a problem. I don't think it's a problem if Superman was black, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they should definitely use the character in the comics that is a black Superman.
Right.
But the whole point, like, Superman is a white guy.
Yeah.
So how would people feel if we took someone like Black Panther and made him a white South African man?
Yeah.
It would be outrageous. People would be like horribly offended, and they'd say that's a disrespect to the character.
I think
That's exactly the same with Batman.
I think you need to give everyone, there needs to be a character that everyone can. There needs to be characters that every type of person can look up to and see themselves in.
Right. And I agree. But, like, people should stop saying, oh, well, let's cast this white guy as a black character and cast this black guy as a white character.
Yeah.
Because if you made Batman a black man, it wouldn't feel like Batman.
Yeah.
And that's not because of it's not because we don't want a black person to play Batman. There's nothing against that. It's the point of Batman is supposed to be a white man. You can't change that. It's a part of who his character is.
Yeah.
And that's like taking, let's say, Rhodey, and from the MCU, he was played by Don Cheadle. And let's make him white. They'd say that's disgraceful and disgusting. And that's the same way it is with white characters. It shouldn't have to be about race. It's just about who the character is.
I feel like the way it is nowadays, trying not to be racist is the new racist.
Right, exactly. Like, and I'm not, what I just said, people will probably call me racist, but that is not racist at all. And people throw the word racism around a lot.
Yes.
Racism is discriminating a race based on the color of their skin and not liking them because of their color of the skin.
Like,
I'm not doing that at all. My favorite guitar player and biggest inspiration in my entire life is a black man who has Native American Cherokee Indian in him. So I'm not racist.
Yeah, like the best jazz players are
Wes Montgomery is my favorite jazz guitar player.
Like
one of my favorite guitar players ever.
Louis Armstrong.
Yeah. And Elvin Jones, who was a jazz drummer.
I mean, there's just...
But, like, Jimi Hendrix is probably the most notable.
I love Jimi Hendrix.
He changed music forever, and he's my
Absolutely.
biggest influence as a musician ever, and that will be as a guitar player. And, no, I'm not racist. He's I mean, for God's sakes, my favorite guitar player and biggest inspiration is a black man. So, no, it's not about race. It's just about who the characters of these comic books and films are supposed to be, and changing that as an integral part of who they are going to be as a character.
If you want a black Batman, make a Batwing movie.
Right. I mean, that's exactly.
That would be so awesome.
And I'd watch that. And again, it brings me back to the point, like, how would people feel if people made Batwing a white man?
Yeah.
They'd be like, that is horrible. Well, exactly how I feel about Batman.
If you make a black Batman movie, you're taking away the chance of getting a Batwing movie.
Right. So what it's basically like, what's the word? God, I can't think of the word. It's like inverting the skin colors, basically, is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
They're like making white people black and black people white.
Also, there's this thing that really bothers me. Like, some people have said outright that white people should be ashamed of themselves because of what other white people have done.
Oh, that's horrible.
I mean,
no.
That's terrible.
Like, we shouldn't have anything to do with that. Because guess what? We didn't do anything wrong.
I shouldn't be ashamed of what other people did just because I have the same race as them. I mean, that's race. That's racism.
It is racist, and it's racist to say that only white people are racist.
It's also racist to say that, I mean, since other people with the same color of your skin did bad stuff, you should be ashamed, because that's generalizing an entire race.
Right, like white people, black people, Asian people, Australian people, Russian people, all of those all of those races have done horrible things in the name of race. So let's not pin it all on white people. White people have done horrible things to the African American community in the past. And yeah, of course there's racial bias still to this day, but not by everyone. The whole country is not enslaving anyone anymore. It's not like that because guess what? White people, specifically Abraham Lincoln, put a stop to that. So
Yeah.
without white people, they wouldn't be free. And I'm so thankful for white people because we freed them. And now we can be equal.
Yeah.
That's not to say that people aren't going to be racist. People are assholes.
Yeah.
But we can't
Some-
stop that. That's the human race. That's what it
Some
is.
people are just bad people.
Right.
Can't change
And-
that. You just
No.
have to strive to be better yourself.
Right. And I think all these protests and stuff, peaceful protests are great, but they are not necessarily going to help because if you're not a nice person and a good person yourself to other people on a daily, then you protesting is just you trying to be a part of the crowd. You can protest all you want and be a jackass to everyone else who's around you. It's not going to make you a better person. It's not going to help society because in order to truly help society, you need to be better than you think you can be.
Yeah.
You need to be a good person to other people.
Be kind to people. Like,
right.
I'm no racist because I love everybody unless they're, a jerk.
Right. My best friend of 9 years is black.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I love black people.
Yeah, and like I love all races. I'm not going to stereotype anyone. Yeah, I mean, I don't want this to get political, even though we kind of went in that direction. But still, it has to be said because in the superhero community especially, people are saying this stuff. And no, it's not racist to say, no, I don't want this character to be black or I don't want them to be white.
Some of my favorite characters are black. Like Static Shock.
Oh, I love Static
One
Shock.
of the greatest cartoons of all time.
Right. And it's sad to see people saying these things because no, it's not racist for me to say I don't want a black Batman. Just like it's not racist for a black man to say no, I don't want a white Static Shock.
Yeah.
That's right. That's not racist. Why? Because that's the character. He's supposed to be an African American. It boils down to that. But we can switch topics now because God, I don't want people to like rave in the comments.
Because if we talk any more about this, someone's gonna, send
Find us and
bombs
kill
to us in the mail.
Yeah. People will just try and kill us.
Yes.
I have too much to live for in this last couple months of 2020.
I need to live
Batman
to
game
DC
to look forward
fandom.
to. I know I need to see that. And I'm not going to say, well, it doesn't even matter my age. I have my birthday coming up. So I need to see that birthday.
My birthday's in September.
Oh, nice. Mine is July. So I'm a little bit ahead. But, yeah, that's I don't know. I mean, do we have any other topics to talk about? I mean, that's really all I had. Do you want to talk about maybe like what you're going to be doing on
we could talk about what we're working on, what we're going to be working on.
Sure, I'll do that. Yeah. All right. So, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So, well, I'm working on right now, obviously, my graphic novel series, which is titled, but I'm not going to release it publicly yet until it's in like the trying to get it copywritten stages, which will be hard because it's Batman. And I have to run that through DC. Yeah. So that's like really hard. I think it's basically impossible unless you make a name for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still going to work on them because I just love making graphic novels about Batman. And Spider-Man. I used to do that with Spider-Man as well. But yeah, so I'm working on a Batman graphic novel series. So it'll have a bunch of different graphic novels enrolled in one story. I'm working on my record. I don't know when that'll be released. Hopefully by late July, maybe by the end of the summer.
Awesome,
I don't know.
Production.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, he has heard some of the songs.
This man has talent.
Thank you.
More talent than a lot of you out there. No offense.
Thank you. That's a very kind statement.
It's truth.
Thank
Because
you.
I'm Batman and I'm
I'll have
saying
to
it.
send you more. You are Batman. That's true. That is true. But yeah. So I'm working on the record, and production's been set back drastically because I can't get into the studio,
Oh yeah.
and I'm not working, so can't pay for studio time. Although the guy who I record with, who lets me use his studio and who's my mixer or engineer, he discounts me a little bit because I'm a friend, so that helps, but it's
That's
still a
good.
lot of money coming out of the bank, so I can't really do it. So I'm doing it all from home right now, which is really hard because I have a professional microphone, but I don't have a computer or anything to record anything on, so I'm using my phone. GarageBand is really shitty to use on your phone if you don't have a microphone. So yeah, but working on the record, hopefully get that out by the end of the summer. What else am I working on? YouTube videos. Actually, I'll be doing live streams of Arkham Origins in actually Arkham Origins, Asylum, City, and Night.
I might try that.
Yeah, you should, man.
I need to figure out how to do it.
Dude, you know what you should do? You should get Mixer.
Mixer. Okay.
Or wait, actually, you don't have an Xbox.
So
it
what
wouldn't
can you
work.
get on the PS4?
You can get Mixer on the PS4, but see, there's a thing on Mixer where you can co-stream with people.
Oh, okay.
So like, you can stream like different games or the same game while talking to each other in a party or like a chat together,
awesome.
while people can like watch both of your streams at the same time or choose one of your streams to watch specifically. And
I'll have to see if we can do that. Maybe we could do like a Arkham City.
Yeah, because like I know you don't have Origins. Do you have Asylum?
I have Asylum and City because it got returned to Arkham.
Do you have Night?
I do not have Night yet. I've played Night. I just don't have it.
Oh, okay. Man, dude, got to get these games.
Yes.
Wait, so did you ever own Night or you just played it?
Well, so my brother had an Xbox One, and then he decided to sell it, which really triggered me. And he sold Arkham Knights along with it.
That's wrong.
He even tried to sell my copy of Battlefront, but I got that before he sold it.
That's good. Well, I mean, at least you have Return to Arkham.
Yeah, there's a copy of Night at a Walmart near me, where the same Walmart I got Return to Arkham at. It's $20, so once I have $20, I will buy it.
Yeah, you should, man.
And then Origins, however much
Origins is definitely the last one you should buy, just because the other ones are just, the main ones.
Yeah.
But Origins you still should eventually buy. It's just, I think it's fun, personally. I like it a lot. But yeah, so I'll be streaming Origins in preparation or hype or whatever you want to call it for DC Fandom. I'll be streaming all 4 Arkham games.
And for the Batman.
Yes. And I will also be streaming all the DLC. So a Cold Heart I'll be doing.
Sweet.
Arkham Asylum doesn't have any story packs, but I'll be doing Harley
Quinn's Revenge. I wish they added some DLC for that.
I know. Return to Arkham had missed opportunities, man.
Yeah.
But and
if they added the night skins.
Oh god, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I also have to complete all the story packs for Arkham Knight. But see, with me, the way I do things, I do it all in chronological order. So basically what I'll do is I'll play Origins, then I'll play Cold Heart, then Asylum, then City, then Harley Quinn's Revenge, and then I'll play the Batgirl DLC.
Oh yeah.
And then I'll do like anything that comes before Arkham Knight, and then I'll play Harley Quinn's DLC, and then I'll play Arkham Knight. So
Sweet.
I don't know. I did it once before, and it took like a whole freaking month and a half. It was
See if
insane.
You can beat that.
I will try, yeah. Well, actually, I'm planning on doing it like in parts, because I want it to be like I start Arkham Origins. I want to say like I want to start it this week, maybe by the end of this week. Or wait, what's today? It's Friday.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Right. So maybe by Monday of next week, I want to start it, and then hopefully I'll finish Arkham Origins around, let's say, early July. Not even no, I'll finish it way before then. I'll finish it like before the end of June.
Okay.
And then after that, I'll start Arkham Asylum at the beginning of July, and then the end of July will be Arkham City, and then August will be Arkham Knight, and then
I
DC
love
Fandom.
Arkham City so much.
It's so good.
If that was a movie, it would probably be the best movie.
See, I was thinking about someday taking the footage from Arkham City, like recording it with a capture card, because I'm trying to save up for one, because I have a laptop that I can use for that, but I don't have a capture card right now. So it's really hard for me to get gameplay for my videos, because I have to do it by using Xbox screen clips.
Oh, yeah.
So basically I clip it, and then it's like a 2-minute clip, and then I have to download it to Twitter, and then I save it, and then I delete it off Twitter so nobody has my footage.
Yeah.
And then like I have to do it all in the span of like 3 minutes. So it's really annoying. So I'm going to try and get a capture card. And once that happens, then I can live stream anytime I want on YouTube, which will be good for the channel as well. You know, people might watch.
Yeah, obviously.
So yeah, but that's all I'm doing. So you talk about what you're doing, man.
I'm screenwriting, man.
No.
I have 2 screenplays in the process right now, and I've already written 5. One is the Batman one, as I told you.
Mm-hmm.
The other 4 are of my own creation. One's Peace Protectors, Quest for the Holy Lance, as I've sent to you.
Mm-hmm.
One Sagittarius, the Bargain Bomber, about him going after this terrorist.
Wait a minute. Is Sagittarius the Bargain Bomber? Is that a sequel?
It's a prequel.
Oh, it's a prequel.
Yes. So basically, I set up the character in Peace Protectors, but
which is the one I have. I have Peace Protectors.
Yeah. So I thought, why shouldn't I, do his origin and his adventures before then?
Mm-hmm.
Because you always want, like with Batman, you want adventures before the Justice League.
Right.
So, and I also set up in Peace Protectors, him killing his partner because he was gonna kill the love of his life.
Right.
So that's gonna be in a movie before that.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and the origin is called Sagittarius the Vigil.
Sorry, if you hear the bag in the background, I'm eating candy.
Nice. I'm working on Magma Man, which is a Cold War set superhero movie, where he's going after a KGB agent named the Icicle, who has ice powers. So that's very fun. And I'm working on a sequel for Peace Protectors called Peace Protectors Doomsday Part 1.
Oh, okay. So is it going to be a 2-parter or a 3-parter?
That's going to be a 2-parter.
Okay.
It's kind of my own. I guess it's kind of Infinity War.
I see.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty big scale. Like at the end, the bad guy Height Guard, he's going to be, ruling over the Earth, and then ends. Like everybody, all the heroes are captured, and then the screen goes black, and then there's a gunshot.
Oh.
And then it ends.
Well, I encourage you not to spoil the end.
Yeah.
What the gunshot signifies.
And then the sequel is going to be about the heroes recruiting heroes across space, time, and universes.
Okay.
So that's basically all I'm doing right now. Between my playing the Arkham games and watching Amazon Prime.
Do you have any plans to post any YouTube content?
Yeah, I've been thinking about different videos. I'm definitely going to cover DC fandom because that's really interesting.
as well. I'm probably gonna do live reactions to WB Montreal and Rocksteady stuff
Definitely.
because I will be 100% when I see that Batman game. I'm gonna like lose it.
I'm going to go
And
crazy.
whatever Rocksteady's game is, I'm looking forward to as well
Yes.
because they just like outdid themselves with the Arkham game. So
And they
whatever
have
they do, I'll love it. Hopefully.
Marvel's screwed. They're screwed.
What do they have go? The only thing they have going for them is Miles Morales,
Yeah.
which
And
looks
then-
phenomenal.
And then in the movies, there's basically nothing interesting.
I'm not looking forward to anything unless it's like
Also,
what
I'm
you
not
said,
watching any of
X-Men.
those stupid TV shows.
They're terrible.
Also, Kevin Feige, I'm really annoyed with him because he's like,
I don't like Kevin Feige.
you have to watch the stupid TV shows to understand the movies.
Right.
I mean,
Why
that's
can't I just
bullcrap.
watch the damn movies? Like, at least what they're doing with Justice League is it's not connected to anything anymore. It's its
Yeah.
own thing.
It's just a
So-
fun thing to watch.
Right. So it's just like telling the story the way it's supposed to be told.
Did you see that scene with Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It gave me chills.
Dude, I finally saw Darkseid and I was like, yes, this is what we've been
Like
waiting
that
for.
drawing of Darkseid. So
And then
ominous.
it splits to the screen of actual Darkseid.
Yeah. And anybody who thinks Gal Gadot is not the perfect Wonder Woman, they just
I think
don't
she's great.
understand the character.
I think she's great.
Gal Gadot is one of those perfect castings like Christopher Reeve, Tobey
Mm-hmm.
Maguire, Christian Bale.
See, I can't stand it how people say Tobey Maguire was not the great Spider-Man because he was too old and Tom Holland is superior. Like, okay, I have an issue with that because
Yeah,
Tobey Maguire does not look that old in the
he
first
doesn't look
movie.
old. He looks
Maybe
pretty
the third
young.
movie, he looks like he's pushing age, but in the first and second movie, he looks like he's in college.
Spider-Man's
that's what
supposed
he
to be in
looks like.
college anyways.
Right,
Like the majority
And-
of comics are in college. So
right. And like Tom Holland is not a great Spider-Man.
my deal with those movies is, I want to like them.
Me too.
I've liked the villains because it's
Yeah.
Michael Keaton and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, I thought that Michael Keaton's character wasn't written great because, like, Iragen always says, they're freaking Tony Stark villains. They're not even Spider-Man villains because everything they do is triggered towards Tony Stark.
I think Mysterio was a lot better
I do, but
because he was more of a Spider-Man villain.
I agree. But at the same time, the only reason Mysterio had anything to do with that movie is because of Tony Stark because he
Yeah.
fired him.
I just don't think number one, the movies, they just don't. I don't know. They just don't really satisfy me
Yeah.
as much as the originals. And I know someone's gonna call me like a whatever shill, but I love those movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if there's ever another Spider-Man movie that, in some eyes, overcome those movies, but
Yeah.
they're just they're classics.
Yeah, and to me, those movies really represent what Spider-Man is.
Yeah, and some people may call it cheesy, but some people call the Superman movies cheesy, and those
I
are
love
classics
the Superman
too.
movies.
Christopher
I love the
Reeve.
original one.
Christopher Reeve will and always shall be the best Superman.
I think he's amazing. I love him. I
No
mean,
Superman will surpass him.
Although the third movie was a little bit of a train wreck.
Well, yeah, the first two are amazing.
Yeah, I agree. They are. Superman Returns was actually pretty good.
It's so underrated.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brandon Routh could be a really great Superman.
I agree.
Like if they brought him back for a Superman movie, I'd love it.
But like I think Henry Cavill is a really good Superman. A lot of people don't like him. I really like his Superman. I don't necessarily love his writing, but I like him.
He could be a great Superman if they had better writing and better directors.
Mm-hmm.
I think Zack Snyder just didn't understand either of the characters.
Yeah. Zack Snyder's vision as a whole felt incomplete.
Yeah.
Like, it was just weird. Even though I think BVS is like one of the best superhero movies ever made. Even though it has weird pacing.
Yeah.
I love that movie. I always will.
Ben Affleck, he was done wrong.
Yeah.
That
I agree.
dude could have been a great Batman. I think he did Bruce Wayne the best out of any Batman.
I agree. And I also think that he had so little lines in the movie as Batman
Yeah.
that it's made his character suffer. Like, he had like 6 or 7 lines as Batman.
He
The
should
rest
have
was
gotten
Bruce
a
Wayne.
Batman movie before Batman vs Superman.
I know. Batman. They should have just released Ben Affleck's Batman in 2016,
Yeah.
and then released Batman versus Superman.
Well, they could have done a Ben Affleck Batman solo movie, and then a Superman sequel, and then Batman vs Superman.
Right.
And I think it would have been a lot better.
Oh yeah, and I think Ben Affleck would have probably stayed.
Yeah, and Batman
If that's
vs
the
Superman probably would have been less crowded and fared a lot better.
Exactly, I agree. Yeah.
I think Zack Snyder just wasn't the best man for the job.
No. And although while I do think his vision was interesting, I would love to see Zack Snyder's films finished on HBO Max.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see them. I think they're done with in the DCEU.
And they should be done with by this point.
Right, and I think they play their part, and that's it. But if you want to continue his story elsewhere, I think that's a great opportunity on HBO Max.
Like they could do a Ben Affleck Batman like a miniseries.
I would love that, but I don't think Affleck will ever do it again.
I don't really want to put more pressure on Ben Affleck. He's been through some bad times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man does not deserve it.
No. But yeah, that's all I had to talk about. You want to add anything?
Oh no, not really. It's just been fun.
Yeah, this has been fun. This is the third. Remember, guys, this is episode 3. Episode 4 will be next Friday, hopefully with the whole pop culture pack.
How many episodes are we gonna have in a season? I wonder.
Oh God.
20.
I don't know.
23.
I don't know. Do you want to go by seasons, or you just want to do like one continuous thing? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, we could have. I have an idea. Well, I'll tell you my idea after we end. So
okay. I can end this. I can end the recording, and then we can talk more.
Okay. All right. Well, guys, this has been fun. This is episode 3 of the Pop Culture Pack without Alter.
Yes.
He should hopefully be back next week.
I guess I'll be gone next week.
It'll just be me and Alter.
Yes.
So, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter.
Yes.
I think he'll probably link that in the description below.
Yeah, I will.
And we will see you guys later. Peace out.
Peace out.